You have just seen and heard a persuasive presentation of the call of this ministry to heart and mind. It's not cognition without affection or affection without cognition. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one sitting there tonight, stirred in my mind with a tear in my eye. And just before we go on, there was just a very fascinating link between what Russell said and Jeremy said, which I want to offer to you as a word of the Lord to us and to this ministry. And it is about the generations. It's from generation to generation. And so we're not just giving and investing in the now, but in the future, and actually walking the biblical way to teach generations of the God who is faithful to all generations. Good evening. I've been asked to lead you in our closing worship. We are closing with what the Apostle Paul would describe as a grace-empowered time of pure thanksgiving. And that's how he described the act of giving to the Corinthians. And he also assumed that it would be a really cheerful time, since they were cheerful givers. So we are putting, at the Institute, we're putting the fun back in fundraising here. Now, I'm not a car salesman, and I'm not, in fact, a fundraiser. My name is Stuart McAlpine. I'm one of the pastors of Christ Our Shepherd Church in Washington, D.C. I do have faith in the outrageously generous grace of God and in the generosity of the gifts of God through the people of God for the work of God. And I love asking for generous support for effective ministries like the C.S. Lewis Institute. As a disciple of Jesus, I've been personally edified and enriched. I've been challenged, and I've been tutored by this ministry. As a teaching fellow in the Institute, I've been on the inside, and I have witnessed and experienced the extraordinary outcomes in people's lives, these testimonies we've seen tonight, of this vessel that this ministry is, that is filled with the Word, and it is filled with the Spirit. As a pastor whose community of faith has had congregants in this program every year since its inception, I can testify to its ministry in strengthening the local church and in equipping its leadership. But furthermore, as crucial as these personal and church issues are in any geography in which this institute operates, as it relates to evangelism and discipleship, its pastoral ministry has also been partnered by what I would describe as its prophetic ministry in the national arena, as it is an indispensable and influential voice in addressing the culture, the public square, with the truth of the gospel. And at this season of national and global life, we must support the roots of this ministry. It's been trusted to us, its headquarters in this geography, so that the branches that have grown from here throughout the nation and to the nations will continue to bear bow-breaking fruit. And I want to suggest that giving to this ministry is a divine Wall Street no-brainer. The outcomes are proven. They are staggering as hundreds and hundreds reach thousands upon thousands. So I am not, in fact, here to appeal to you. I am here to affirm you. I'm here to affirm the commitment and the kindness to this ministry that you've already shown. It's proven, and that has brought all of you to these tables tonight. Mind you, that sounds a bit like Las Vegas, now I say it that way. Paul's assumptions of the Corinthians in 2 Corinthians are my assumptions of you all tonight as I prepare you to give. To quote Paul, I know your eagerness to help. I know your enthusiasm for this ministry that has spurred you into the action of giving, and I know that you are ready to give. Verse 2. I know that this moment has not found you unprepared. Verse 4. I know it is going to be generous. Verse 5. And because you are not reluctant to give, any of you, you don't need any compulsion from me. And if you're still not quite sure how much to give, I suggest you follow our mentor C.S. Lewis's rule when he said the only safe rule is to give more than you can spare. The limit of giving is to be the limit of our ability to give. And if you're in doubt and you need further incentives, how about the ones that Paul mentions? All grace will abound toward you. Your harvest of righteousness will be enlarged. You will have joy in supplying the needs of the work of God and the people of God. And if that's not motivation enough, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. This is actually first about God before it's about the needs of the C.S. Lewis Institute.